Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. Oh,
Welcome to the Kiali+Jaeger Sprint 32. So today we are going to have four presenters from the Kiali team, Kainya and Joel, and from the Jaeger team, Ingeri and Rubens. So thank you, Kainya. You have the mic.
hello, everyone. This is the update for the Sprint 32 on Kiali. The main thing that we do have in the Sprint for Team Saturn is the new authentication method using tokens. So, first thing we're going to see one secret. The secret should be the type a service account token. For this one, I am using the same as Kiali uses, mostly because it does mean that we do have the same permission for them, but you can create new service accounts and have the tokens for each of them, use them for login. This is the same approach that is used by the Kubernetes console. So using this, we can have some form of access control for the user, because the users are only going to see and be able to interact with the things that they do have permission for. So we can copy the token and we can use it for login. And that's pretty much it. Most of the other things have been on the backends. Most of the improvements. We're finishing the last step for the update to Pattern Fly 4. So there's not too much to see there. Just this authentication feature that is going to help everyone that's going to be on Kubernetes and not on OpenShift. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day for you, for all of you.
Hello, so I'm going to talk about the different works that we've been doing on Kiali this sprint. So we've worked a lot on, let me share my screen first. Please going to work this time. So you should see the Kiali console here. And we've been working a lot this sprint on the traces, and we've been refactoring a lot how Kiali is integrating with Jaeger. It's some work that is going to be continued on several sprints, but for now what I can show is some tool to help in the correlations between metrics and traces. So here is the dashboard of Kiali, and when we go, for instance, to the service list or the applications list, going to the services, I'm picking a service, and I can show in the inbound matrix. Here you get the existing page as it always been. There is that new thing in the legend, which is the span durations. And if I click there, I can see that there's some spans that are going to be filled within the charts. I have another window where there's already a lot of spans that have been added. So in every chart that we have in that dashboard, we can add this, we can show the span duration like that. This is the same on all charts. And one difference, for instance, when we compare to the Jaeger UI, is that here we are showing traces, but in this case, where we're really focused on a single service, I think it was more interesting to show the span. So at the moment, we just show the span duration and not the traces duration. One thing that we can tell is that, as you can see here, there's many spans, and of course, we can reach a limit of the number of spans to display. So what we're currently doing is showing only the spans when the limit is reached, showing only the spans that are supposed to be the most relevant one. So this is the spans that contains the errors, and spans where the duration is above I think it was 19th percentile. So yeah, that's basically it. There's been there will be more work in the future sprints where we will have a new trace screen directly within Kiali instead of having just a hard link to the Jaeger UI. And there's more to come. So, for instance, here at the moment, we can just see in the tooltip some metadata about the span. But what we want is that we can click on the span to be redirected to a view of the span within the trace and some stuff like that. So there's new stuff to come soon. Yeah, and that's all that I have today. Thank you.
And we are going to give the mic to the Jaeger team.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologize for all the technical issues. So, Gary, Rubens, mic is yours.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Hopefully you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do a quick demo of a VS Code plugin that we've done for the Jaeger. So first of all, I'll be just demonstrating the Quarkus open tracing example. So that's located at this page here. There's also a page to do the visual code extension, which can be found here. So first thing is I'm going to load the extension or install the extension into my environment. So that can be done in this. So there's some basic instructions about what can be done with the extension. At the moment, it's fairly limited. It's basically 3 commands that the user can enter, but over time we're going to be wanting to add more functionality, and if anybody has any suggestions for further integrations, then we'd be happy to hear them. Okay, so the commands are available up here. So what I'm going to do is start Jaeger. So that shows a message to say it started. Next thing I want to do is go to the example, and what I'll do is I'll start that up in a sec. First thing, with Quarkus, open tracing is enabled simply by adding an extension. So that's done here. And providing some additional properties just to set the service name and the sampling rate. So if I just take a quick look at the documentation, so to run the application in the development mode, simply do this. Okay, so we can see that there's a number of extensions that have been included with Quarkus. So there's Jaeger and then open tracing. So next thing I want to do is do a simple transaction. So I'm just going to issue a curl command. Right. Okay, so now what I do is I'll bring up the Jaeger UI. So I select the service, so in this case it was called my service, find the trace, so then we can look at the transaction that was performed. It's only a single service in this particular case, but we could have a number of other services that are running locally within the development and test environment and see a more interesting trace, but this gives you an idea of what the integration can do. So as I said, if there's any suggestions for additional features, this is the repository, so if you can feel free to create some issues and we can improve the integration. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Rubens, have the mic.
Hello. Yes, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. I swear that. Okay. Can you see my screen? Hello?
No.
No.
Okay. Hello?
I can hear you, I can see you, but I guess that we cannot see your.
Okay. No?
Now I guess that we can see, yeah. It's
Okay.
working.
Great. Well, I'm gonna show you two features of the Jaeger UI that improves the visibility of the trace or the representation of the traces on the. Well, first I'm gonna generate some traces and fill. Then the first feature I'm gonna show you is the dependency graph, and this is generated based on the traced results. I'm gonna, for example, find the traces. And you can see all the traces here, and additionally there is a deep dependency graph view here that allows you to have a graph in the form of the dependencies. You can see here the front end is the focus node. This is because I selected the front end service, and the customer and driver called front end, and you can see for example another node if you want to find the MySQL service, for example. You can see the graph. There is a small issue here because there are duplicated. I need to investigate it. And for example, if you select front end, you can see the downstream hubs. You can see only the field 1 and 2 or 2 nodes or 3 hubs. It depends. This is only have 1, 2, or 3. There could be more complicated cases, but this is a very simple one just for show the feature. And you can select another node as a focus, for example, this one. And you can, the graph is going to be generated again, and you can see that now this is the focus node. The other feature I want to show you is when you have pans with multiple references. In the actual state is that they are not showing, but with this new feature you can see the gonna clean this. Gonna refresh. You can see the references now. This is the trace that I loaded for JSON. I prepared this for the demo. And now you can see an icon here that it indicates that this span contains multiple references. You can see the references in the details. And also you can navigate to the references. Here you can see this is the reference span. Also you can navigate up to the original span that referred it. There is another case here when you have the reference that is not in the trace. This is indicated by this icon, and you can jump to the reference. Of course, this reference does not exist. That's because you are seeing this error, but if the reference is a valid reference, you can jump to the trace and it will show you all this view, but with the new trace and the highlighted pan. That's all from my side. I know if you have some feedback.
Thank you very much, Rubens. Very nice feature that you presented today with all the dependencies. So any questions, any feedback, any comment for Rubens, Gary, or the other presenters? No? Okay. So thank you for attending. I'm going to stop the recording. I'll see you in 3 weeks for the next Sprint demo meeting. Bye-bye.